Sickle. Yep.
I think it's in order, right? Like it's body fluids, transport.
Yeah, yeah. So on the
Who's doing? Are you doing both? Like, because I'm doing only one. But is Andy coming?
no, Andy's not coming. So but he sent me like a rationale. Everything's going well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you in 311?
Biop 311 or Fiji 311?
No, Fiji.
No, I'm not in any Fiji this year at all. Yeah, I kind of wish I took Fiji 311 though.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
It's cool. It's cool. Action potential master.
No, I mean the 311. No, I did it last year. I mean, that's sorry. Oh, are you yeah. You're also
Which spider is supposed to be here? I believe. Let's see. Okay. Just give it another minute.
Share your screen too.
If I share my screen, then this shares its screen. So
Okay, but you still can go into a Slido from here, right?
so they're gonna see the Slido. Yeah, I think it's kind of a mess. Stop. Okay.
And you can start. Announce what you need to announce.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Your attention, please. Okay, we have a pretty good turnout, and on Zoom, we also have a great turnout. So look at you guys go, getting ready for this exam. Hopefully, we can help you out. How this is gonna work? My friends and I have designed you some questions, and we'll go through them, and we'll spend some time discussing after each question, if required. Maybe some of them are just very easy for you. Some might be harder than others. Before we begin, just introduce ourselves. I'm Yashar from the USA for Immunology.
I'm Sami. I'm also in immunology.
Yes, and we have
Victor. I'm covering transport and fluids today. I'm Cyril doing fluids.
Yes, it's good to see everyone here, and good to see you guys on Zoom. Okay, so now this is the most important part. Is if the Slido is going to work. So we're going to start off with body fluids. And so for everyone on Zoom, let's see. Just make sure, go to the link I sent. So I'm going to send it again. And then the code is 409-9877, should be. And then we'll get started. So now I go into present mode, present in a new tab. Hopefully this works. The McGill Wi-Fi out here. So a 6-year-old max, so it's not a good combination.
It'll work.
Okay. I have a lot of questions. Interesting. We'll address these later.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Go to this question.
Yeah.
And all right, so can I just make sure, were you guys able to, oh, you guys have to go to slido.com. Everyone here, can I see someone's, can I see your screen?
Does it work?
So. And so it didn't show, it's working. Okay. I believe it's working. Everyone on Zoom, are we good? Like, is it'd be better, yeah, it would have to be on a computer or on your phone. Yes. Okay, it's working on Zoom. It's a lot of yeses. I'm glad.
Great.
Okay. So
Are you not showing the questions here? Or?
I'm not sure. I wanted to, but these are popping up.
It's all right.
Maybe.
It's okay to do what works so you don't mess things up.
I'm not sure why it's showing.
If you press on the question, what comes up?
Which question?
Those are the student questions, but if you press on the question here, question 1, then you go into it. Because we see 119 answers, right?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it's working.
All right. You can be honest.
So, I'll just give it, I don't know.
30 seconds.
Yeah, 30 more seconds. $142 answers. Okay, very good. Yeah, would you like to take control? All right. Just go here. You want to show the answer. You're gonna hit show results. So it's gonna show like who said what, and then this one right here is show correct answer.
All right.
Then it's all you, big man.
So I hit show results now.
Hold on. Actually, you know what? We'll just say we're good. So I'm gonna lock the voting so you guys can't change. I'm mean. So lock voting. Then.
All right. So looks like the majority of you answered an infant female, and that's the correct answer. So as a person ages, they like get more connective tissue and adipose tissue, right? So that's why when you're youngest, the body water is the highest.
Yeah.
And, that's it.
Pretty self-explanatory, right? Typically, females have more body water than males, and then younger people have more. Is it?
Yeah,
Wait, it's the other way
the
around.
other way around.
Oh no. Okay. See, it shows we're all human, right? So, okay, then in that case, I can ask another question. Would an infant male have more body water than an infant female? No. Okay, there we go.
Next one.
Yeah. So, we have to stop here. That's stop.
Oh wait, I
I
can
think
check.
it's stop. Yeah. Then. All right.
You have to open it or it's open?
Yeah, you have to open
I
it.
think it's not open.
Unlock, I think.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right. Males have more water than females.
Are you guys able to see it?
Males have more water. But like I put female because they're the
Right.
same in infants.
The Zoomers are doing well, or
I think the Zoom,
Can we check the comments?
what is the Slido code? Oh,
It's 409.
987? Let's go back to the question for the people here.
yes. Oh, I could probably, wait, I can share. I think, yeah, I can share, because when you share, right? So
Just
you
share
share,
the Chrome window.
and then we do,
Google Chrome, this one.
Yes.
Share. Now we can see the Zoomers and live. Great. Do the one window thing. Yeah.
okay, excellent. Oof, thanks for coming out, guys.
Yeah, no,
Yes,
Yeah, because you have there's a holiday. Yeah.
should we like show?
Let's wait. 15 more seconds. You can say it on the mic.
All right, we're going to give us.
Hi.
We're going to give 15 more seconds and then show results.
Where's the volume thing?
On
The mic. Here. Go up.
no, it works.
mic audio, mic one.
Try it.
All right, hello.
Okay. We're gonna lock.
Okay, we're gonna show results now. I don't think there's a point to locking.
Yeah, there is.
Show results.
All right, so most of you answered 32 liters, and we're gonna show the correct answer.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, it is 32 liters. You get this by multiplying 60% by 80 kilograms, and then converting that to liters. It's just the same thing. The height is just to throw you off, but looks like you guys got that correct.
That's right.
You have to press on that.
Yeah, I stopped it.
Jot it down.
So it's a professional. And then is it open? Is it?
Yeah, it's open.
Okay. Yep. We have result question 3. And guys, if you need help in between questions, it's a small class. You can come up and answer. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to repeat what he said. If you need help, you can just send a message in chat, like if you have questions.
Dr. Vollrath, she changed this one.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. It's, she said that they don't have to know like the names, specific names of the ones that label the specific compartments. So she said they wanted them to know like which compartments make up which compartments instead of the names. I'm not sure.
So you're graduating. You're doing your No, I mean,
I think that's enough time.
Yeah, 167.
All right, we're going to show the results now.
Really good.
So, yeah. So the correct answer is C, and looks like most of you got that. The explanation is that to measure intracellular fluid, you need to subtract the extracellular fluid volume from the total body water volume, because there's nothing that specifically measures it. So it looks like you guys got that as well.
Oh, and I would be very comfortable. I would want to be very comfortable with, for example, how to measure interstitial fluid as well. Just know which one to make up which, right?
Okay, there's some chat questions. So does infant,
I'm not sure.
so we got a question, does infant mean newborn baby? And
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
I don't think there's a distinction between a newborn child and a like an early child.
How are we doing? Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay. There are 5 options, but we don't have. Oh, that's fine. No questions. We're actually.
So there's 2. Let me check them. So you sure they're trolling?
You can move it to the side so that they can read the question. And then we'll answer maybe after this. The baby with the cute. It's a baby girl.
It's like 0 to 3 years old, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna whip out the notes right now.
Okay. So, like baby. Okay.
So we're going to show results now.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to show results now.
Oh,
Correct answer is E, right?
I don't think so, actually.
Shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I will get the reasoning for it right now, just from Andy.
It's just the facts, right? It's just the facts.
Yeah.
But like, so B is wrong because it's not rigid and fixed. And D is wrong because integral proteins are the ones that go across the membrane. So they're integrated in. C is wrong because C is correct.
C is correct, and A. Let's see why A is wrong. Let's see why A is wrong.
Pretty sure.
I believe it extends extracellular, doesn't it?
Indeed,
Yeah.
that's the reason. Yep. Okay.
All right, let's look at the next one. Okay, so we have a question. Let me go back to this one. So at low temperatures, no, it looks correct to me.
Let's go to the next question and maybe answer this one after. I'm looking it up.
No, it's correct.
Yeah.
They're wondering if the recording will be posted before the midterm.
Yeah, we'll make sure that happens.
Okay.
Is everyone good on this question? Yeah, the glycocalyx calyx is like a little thing that sticks out of the cell, so from the surface out.
We try to reduce background noise on the mic.
We can,
Turn the mic down.
yeah. Does that like do anything?
I
It's like 1 out of 100 every time.
It's a futile cycle.
Okay, 10 more seconds.
All right, 10 more seconds. You can't hear, or
Now it's is it too low?
Yeah.
I think that this mic is just for, I mean, it's a small room. I think everyone can hear it. As long as the recording is recording.
Yeah, you can stop.
okay, I'm gonna show results now. Oh,
Interesting. Very interesting.
yeah.
Oh, because it's false.
Yeah. So let's see. Let's see real quick.
Because
I'm gonna lock it so that people can't change. All right, this is all you, man. This is a good one.
It's just the facts, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I'm just full.
Yeah.
Okay.
But why is
So why is it? What's the question, Sami?
the question regarding the various forms of transport is or are false?
Yes.
Diffusion is only effective over short distances as the unit time increases proportionally to the square of the distance traveled by solid molecules. To the square.
Hold on.
Stop a second. Isn't it the square root?
No.
I'm wrong.
He has his notes, right?
So why would this?
It should be. Which one's false? So what did everyone say? It is B. Oh, I think. All right. So the correct answer is B.
Yeah, okay.
You know, when you make a Slido, sometimes it happens, right? My bad. All right.
Yeah.
It's my bad.
So it's proportional to the permeability coefficient, not inversely proportional.
Yes.
And that's the problem.
So
Wait, we can't hear him.
you can't
Like,
hear.
can you guys hear?
Why don't we go back to the?
They can hear.
They said yes.
Yeah, just crank it
Can
up
you
a
hear the
bit.
background noise?
Where? This one?
But not when everyone talks. Okay.
Is it okay? Yeah, we can do
All
that.
right. Yeah. So, just so that everyone on Zoom can hear, and as well as on the recording, when you guys can watch this again, so that you can hear. When we give the explanation, we'd appreciate it if you keep it down over here. Thank you. Right.
So to re-explain, B is actually the correct answer. And it's correct because it's not inversely proportional, but proportional.
Right. And then I think I might have locked loading. Oh, okay. Good. Max doesn't on the spot. It was.
Okay, I guess I'll explain that after we do this. And
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Yes, and a mouse user too.
Sorry. Come from two different worlds. So.
Yeah, right. How you doing? Ah, yeah. And it's so funny that I'm doing this one section. I mean, it wasn't even intentional. But don't have restrictions. Oh, yeah. Like age is just about.
Also doing a blood drive. I think waiting.
Wait, what? Wait, what? When? Are you kidding me? Are you in contact with Steve?
That would you have to be the how many? Not me directly, but
134.
you guys. 15 more seconds.
How much time are you giving per section?
Yeah, I didn't know.
But I think you're on people.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
All right, so let's show the answer. And looks like that's correct.
Yep.
Okay, I can explain the wrong ones. So osmosis isn't exocytosis, it's passive diffusion. This one. Let's go back to that. Okay, this one is incorrect because any of these vesicle formation transport isn't passive. They involve energy and they're active transport. This one, I think it's to remove unwanted substances, but not to replace plasma membrane, right?
Actually, the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's not regular.
Oh, okay, I see.
Hey, they know. They're ready.
I don't remember what this is.
What is it?
Photosynthesis.
Photosynthesis involves the transfer of molecules like caveolin. They're dependent on formation.
Okay, I see. It's not dependent on clathrin for formation.
Clathrin is just the clathrin.
So yeah, I'm not
You have
sure.
to take that up with Andy, but Andy's not here.
I'm not sure why the
Yeah.
person did this, but endocytosis and exocytosis are different because they go in opposite directions, essentially.
Right.
Those are just USCA questions. There will be more.
I think there was a question about the one before. So why is A correct in the last one?
Yeah, we'll go back.
And we'll go back to look at it.
Okay.
So A, it's correct because diffusion is a form of passive transport and it relies on a concentration gradient.
We can do the next question then answer on the chat.
All right, so it looks like Cyril's gonna take over.
Okay,
All right.
blood.
Okay,
Sorry. Yeah.
Thanks for.
Test. Okay. So how does it work?
I think it's open. Then you see
Yeah,
the
so everyone's answering, and then once we decide it's enough, we can just hit show results, and then you're gonna hit the little check mark right there to show the answer afterwards.
This?
Yeah.
Okay.
Eight for him, 8 for us.
This is Dr. Lex. This one.
Yeah, I got it. I got to see her in person. And yeah, I didn't see that. I saw her in the elevator. Victor, are you seeing the biography about it? Oh, you watched the board. Yeah, I didn't go to the bus. I was trying to, like,
But they're still changing their answers.
If they're changing, then you just hit lock, the lock, and then it's done. And
All right, so you guys explain everything. Do you guys want me to explain why? Yeah.
yes, okay, good.
So okay, so basically let's start with the obvious. Okay, I'll just speak like this. So drop in albumin concentration, what happens first? Increased plasma oncotic pressure is the first one you eliminate because it's of course decreased. Because the drop in albumin concentration is there's a drop in albumin concentration, which means that and albumin concentration is the first determinant of oncotic pressure. So if the concentration drops, you have a decrease in plasma oncotic pressure. So it's the first one you eliminate. If you have a decrease in plasma oncotic pressure, first, it doesn't affect fluid filtration because fluid filtration is due to hydrostatic pressure, not oncotic pressure. Decreased fluid accumulation in the interstitial space, it's the other way around because if you have a drop in albumin concentration, okay, so I'll just explain why it's correct first, because it makes more sense. So if you have a drop in albumin concentration, what happens is that you have decreased fluid reabsorption because fluid reabsorption is just due to oncotic pressure, right? You know, the arrows goes in the other way, so it comes back. So if you have a drop in the concentration, you have decreased reabsorption. And because you have decreased reabsorption, you have, can you see my cursor? No. Okay, it's fine. You have decreased fluid filtration. No, sorry. You have decreased fluid accumulation. No, sorry. You have, you have increased fluid accumulation, so you have edema, right? Makes sense? If it doesn't make sense, tell me. And then the last one that I can't see, decreased fluid drainage. So if you have, this one is not super obvious, but if you have increased fluid accumulation, it means that you have edema, which means that your lymphatic system will be overwhelmed and have to like drain more. So it's an increase, it's not a decrease in fluid drainage. Makes sense? Yeah. No, and it's the opposite. So edema here is a consequence of an increased, of a decreased plasma oncotic pressure. The filtration is always due to hydrostatic pressure only. So hydrostatic pressure is the pressure that's going to be in the blood vessels, pushing fluid into the interstitial space, right? And what's going to bring it back is the oncotic pressure. So if you have the same hydrostatic pressure, but the pressure that's bringing it back, which is the oncotic pressure, is dropped, then you have it's accumulating in the interstitial space. I didn't get your question. Increased fluid filtration. It would also cause edema. Yeah. So there's different causes. There's actually a slide that shows you the causes of edema. One is an increase in hydrostatic pressure. The other one is it's another cause. It's just that you're having the same filtration, but you're having less reabsorption. Yeah. So in both cases, you have accumulation in the interstitial space. Yeah, sorry, just here. Yeah. No. Yeah. 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 But here I mean filtration as in bulk flow. Yeah. So filtration, you know the slide with the, what do you call this? A colander? Yeah. That's bulk flow, that's filtration, which means that it's fluid going from the blood into the periphery. Yeah. It's not net filtration. Net means with considering what's going out and what's coming back. Net, yeah, because it's net, yeah. There's also another question that looks like this. So it's like if you guys didn't understand fully, it's kind of the same with like flip stuff. Okay, now how do we move from here? Oh wait, is there a question on the, are these for my questions? Could you explain again why?
I think someone already answered.
Okay, someone answered. Okay, perfect.
So now I believe you have to hit the square to deactivate it. Right. So then we have to go to question 8, blood 2. And is it locked? It's not locked, so people can vote. Right.
If it's taking too long, just let me know.
No, I think we're right on time. Yeah.
Is it until 8?
Or 8:30.
Yeah. We want-
So we might finish early too.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And guys, for question 1 on the practice midterm, everyone was asking a question. I also found it weird. It should be the lymphocytes or the T helper cell, not the natural killer cell. I'm gonna ask Dr. Vollrath tomorrow because I know she's getting a lot of emails. I asked her in person tomorrow, and I think she'll make an announcement during the tutorial.
I just asked her in the Google Class. She said it was supposed to be the helper.
Yeah,
Right.
perfect. That's logical. Yes.
First questions for final. Oh, yeah, I wish I got rid of the short answer. Wish they got rid of the short answer.
Okay, 154.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, oh my God.
No, I think we're good.
Yeah, you get the 156 show results.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, nice.
All right, guys.
Okay, guys, that's an easy one. So I don't think we need to. You guys have questions here or on Zoom? No. It's just super easy. You just eliminate first the two bone marrow ones because it doesn't produce erythropoietin, and then you're left with the 3 others. So when you have a hemorrhage, you have more erythropoietin because you need more red blood cells. So this one here you eliminate, and then it's just easy. And then so more erythropoietin. I think everyone agrees, right? 90% is a good score, so we can move on. No questions? Okay, so what happens here? Is there... Oh my God. Wait, Vishar, can you do the...
So now go to blood 3. And we're good to go.
Perfect.
Because she had that room. That was bigger. I checked 504.
It's not.
There's 5-2, there's 504.
How many do we have?
116.
Cameras.
You can tell them like 10 more seconds. So that they could be
Okay, I'm gonna close. For 5 more seconds. It's fine. Ooh, everyone ran last minute. Okay. Okay, lock and show. Okay, so this one is also easy because it just requires memorization. Actually, the only hard ones are the two that are conceptual. So the first one, and there's another one also that requires you to like really understand the concepts. These you just need to know what each anemia, like what are the characteristics of each anemia and how do you classify them, and you'll be able to answer this. So this will just go through by elimination. The first one, okay, so most people got it right. So the patient might have an iron deficiency. Should you make it interactive or just like yeah, because I feel like everyone's sleeping. Okay, so why is it not an iron deficiency? Very easy. Yeah, so normal in shape, that's it. It can't be microcytic. Then folic acid deficiency. What do the cells look like? Bigger. So also normal in shape, you eliminate. The patient might have maturation failure anemia. It's the same thing as folic acid deficiency and vitamin B12 deficiency. So it's all macrocytic. Sickle cell anemia. Does anyone know what the cells look like? The shape is weird. So the only one that's normocytic, normochromic is aplastic anemia. So that's just memorization.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, there's another word.
What was it?
Hypo. Yeah. Thanks.
Hypoplastic.
I think so. If she's a
Yes.
Can you describe aplastic anemia, please? Okay, let's see. You just have to know the.
I think it's the color.
Okay, let's see aplastic anemia. Yeah, hypoplastic. Okay, so for the person asking on Zoom about aplastic anemia, basically it's a diminished production. So it's one of the three, it's the first of the three causes, so it's diminished production. It's so weird to talk to a screen. I can't even see you guys. And then, so do you have a specific question or? So basically the bone marrow is diseased or has a problem. Makes sense. Okay, perfect. It's straightforward. If you look at the slide, slide 138, it will make sense. Okay. And if you have a specific question, you can ask. Okay. So let's move on. More questions? No? No? Perfect. Okay, so every time I forget how you do. So stop like this. And then
So now you gotta go
9
to the list.
So we did this, we did this.
We're on blood tests.
4. Okay. Is it unlocked? Yeah, it's unlocked. You can answer. No, it went away. Yeah, where did it go though?
What?
Okay, pull 4 here.
No, I think there might be a tab. The chat
Okay.
might be covered.
Yeah, now you can answer. Oh, there's a mistake here. Yeah. This. What is this? Yeah, this should be here. So after blood accumulates and forms blood at the site of injury, platelets aggregate to form. Okay, let me tell you. So guys, I'll rewrite number A. Oh no, number B. So just ignore the last sentence of number B and put it after the sentence of number A, and then put it after the sentence of number B.
I can edit it real quick.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think. Okay. Let's see.
Don't let it shut up. You'll see the answer. You'll see the answer.
Oh, you're
It's all
right.
It's all
Okay. Yeah.
This is the only.
Wait, they can't. Oh, the Zoom. Let's see. Yeah.
They can still.
Yeah. So platelets should be there.
Yeah, just this here. That's like the. I think it's just a copy paste mistake. It's fine. Okay. So like 20 more seconds. Okay, 5 seconds. Okay, now it's going to take me 1 minute to stop it. Okay, good. Sure. All right, so 70% is also a good score, and it's also it's also a memorization question. So calcium is required for blood clotting. I think we all agree, right? It's an essential part of the entire scheme. We saw like the weird slide with all the X's. There's calcium involved, and if you remove the calcium, it doesn't work. So you don't get, yeah. The clot forms after the platelet. Blood, yeah.
It sits on.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay, so now why are the others wrong? So 40% chose after blood accumulates, and okay, but this one is wrong. So I mean, it's maybe they chose it because okay, the real thing is after blood accumulates and forms the clot which is your question, at the site of injury, platelets aggregate to form the platelet clot. It's the other way around. So the platelet clot forms first, and then the blood clot. In secondary hemostasis, the smooth muscle cells in the blood vessels contract to minimize blood loss. What? It's primary hemostasis. And then these is just 5%, so I don't have to go through them. Okay. Yeah, right. Because otherwise, does anyone have questions?
No.
Which state? Okay, just nice.
So other than 20% calcium would be
Sorry, what's your question? I thought minimum only platelets were needed for clotting. What do you mean minimum only?
You don't need a huge amount. That's what they mean.
You mean a little?
Yeah.
For clotting?
Yeah, you don't need a lot. Do you?
Yeah, there's a real person who has a question. Yeah. Could you raise it? Sorry, guys, I'm trying to hear a question. Please. Yeah. That's just memorization, sorry. Yeah. You should know, you know what? You should know the orders of magnitude. So I wrote this question. And so for 3, I would not have said like it returns a fluid volume of about 6 liters per day. You know, like if I said of about 500 liters per day, you should know that it's wrong. You know, so but never, we're not going to ask you like 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. No, like 3, but like, you know what I mean?
We're not gonna
So-
say 3. We're not
So
gonna
if
say
I-
3 or 4. We're not gonna do that.
Yeah, we're not going to say 3 or
We're
4.
not. If we say 3 or 500, then
Yeah.
we say 500. Get it.
You don't have to know the numbers. Like a lot of people ask me, like, do you have to know the numbers and the size of albumin and the size of no. You don't have to know this, but you have to know, for example, that albumin is the smallest. You know the orders of magnitudes and the range and the comparison between the sizes. You should know that it's a small volume. 3 liters is a small volume. You know, like yeah. So it's fair. We're not unfair. Okay, there's a bunch of things here. Oh wait, 158. We should close.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, I'll answer your question after on the chat.
No, love first. No,
Can you
tourism.
repeat the question asked? Yeah, I think we should repeat the questions asked. So she asked, okay, wait, before I close, because it's important. She asked, what did you ask?
If we need to know the 3 liters.
Yeah. Do we have to know the 3 liters, like, you know, the numbers of, and we said that we're never going to ask you, is it 3 or 4 or 3 or 6, you know? But if we said in this question, for example, it returns a fluid volume of about 500 liters, you should know it's wrong. You should really know the orders of magnitude, and you should know, for example, for albumin, you don't have to know its size, you have to know that it's the smallest, you know? So like order of magnitude and comparison between things, this is what you have to know. Okay, so let's stop this, it's a lot of time.
Show results. Right?
Show, stop, lock, whatever. Okay. So this is also an easy question because it's only memorization. Like easy, it just means that it's memorization. You know, like if you haven't memorized, it's not easy. But yeah, so it's just a memorization question. And this, the first one is just the other way around. So it's not 90%, it's 10%, right? So 90% comes back into the capillaries and 10% goes to the lymph. Sorry, to the lymphatic vessels. So lymphatic vessels coalesce from larger vessels that drain. Okay, this we know is correct. I think it's obvious. Everything is obvious. Like lymphatic drainage can be blocked by PHGY. Does anyone have questions in the chat? She did, but the X. Does any? I'll get back to Emily's question, but do you have a question about this question? No? Okay. We'll move on and then I'll answer the other question. Wait, are these indicative of how hard the midterm will be?
Yeah, without the imperfections that we have, this is the level.
No. How are you guys feeling so far? Usually the people who come in person are the best prepared, like in general, like the others are like studying in the room. Like I never came to a review session in person. Yeah, so I guess, but are you guys finding it difficult or what? You think it's too detailed or?
Maybe, let's see
No?
what they say for
Okay, it's reasonable. Yeah, thank you. Are these indicative with the sunglasses? Okay. Wow, okay, wow. It's we can't interact with it. It's like fake interaction. I'm not getting like what they're thinking.
All right, let's go to the next one.
We did 5, right? 6. That's a hard one. No, that's a conceptual one. So like you have to understand this. You can't memorize.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So so I wanted to answer something. Yes, it's correct. You don't need red blood cells to do the platelet pump. Sorry, to do the blood clot. That's it. Yeah. Did I answer your question? You're here. Okay, so 20 seconds or not, maybe a bit more. Oh, it's 7:50. No, yeah, 20 seconds. Okay, so 5 seconds. I'll explain. So, okay, well. Oh, nice.
Well, it's also easier because they get to talk to each other, you know?
Here? Okay, so let's explain. Rise in hydrostatic pressure, you're going to have a rise in filtration. So first, it doesn't it's like the opposite of the other question. So it doesn't have to do with plasma oncotic pressure. So this you can eliminate. If you have an increased hydrostatic pressure, you have an increased filtration rate. And so you have increased fluid accumulation in the interstitial space. Now let's see why the others are wrong. If you have an increased fluid, increased fluid accumulation in the interstitial space, you have more fluid. You have, what is this? Decreased filtration. Okay, so this is wrong. You have more fluid filtration in the capillaries, which I already said. So that's why E is wrong. Again, it has nothing to do with plasma. This one is easier than the first answer. It has nothing to do with oncotic pressure, and the C is the opposite. So if you have more fluid accumulating in the interstitial space, your lymphatic system is going to be working more to drain all the fluid. Okay. Yeah. You good? Yeah. Same thing. Yeah.
Colloidal just means proteins.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you please repeat D and E? Okay, so let's repeat. What if so oncotic pressure is only due to the concentration of osmotically active proteins in your blood. That's the only thing that affects it. So it doesn't have to do with a rise in hydrostatic pressure. And D and E, so what's D? D, as I said, it has nothing to do with rise in oncotic pressure because you're not touching albumin concentration or concentration of any proteins. And what's E? Decreased fluid filtration. So you have an increased fluid filtration. If you have more hydrostatic pressure, think of it just as higher blood pressure, more pressure on the capillary walls. So you're going to have more fluid going into the interstitial space. Yeah? Okay. So 7. Okay.
You want to take more of the immunology, I'll take more.
I don't mind. I like.
How many people are still with us?
On the Zoom?
Yeah, I feel like there's not a lot of.
My
138 people on Zoom.
I might buy you a little bit.
Oh, if you want. Why are you on his MCAT?
It's all right.
What? No, sorry. I just opened the.
Everyone will just see that.
Yeah.
You might want to buy you a little bit.
Guys, by the way, for hydrostatic pressure, it always used to trip me up. I used to think of it as like a garden hose. And if you poke it in the middle and you turn the water pressure up, it's obviously going to spray out. That's your blood vessel. The higher the hydrostatic pressure, the more it's going to spray out. Oncotic pressure is just the proteins on the inside that are saying, come back in. And those are the only two factors. One is pushing it out, one is saying, come back in. And then the net could be either net filtration or net reabsorption. That's it. But there are a lot of words, so it's confusing. I know. This is how I think.
All right, so 20 seconds. Okay, I'm gonna stop. Nice. Okay, so most people got it right. Should I go over? I'll just go quickly over it. So obviously hemorrhage, you always have an increase in erythropoietin because you're losing oxygen carrying capacity in your blood because you're losing red blood cells. Okay, so this is obvious. Why is it not liver disease? It has nothing to do with liver disease. Why is it not moving to a lower altitude? It would be the opposite. So if you're moving to a higher altitude location, yes, but lower altitude is the other. It's so you actually don't get a decrease in erythropoietin, but if you move to a higher altitude location, you get an increase in erythropoietin secretion. What did I not do? So an increase in plasma erythropoietin. So if you have an increase in plasma erythropoietin, you have a negative feedback because they're going to be producing more red blood cells, and then the red blood cells will turn off erythropoietin production. So that's the opposite also. And renal failure, erythropoietin is made in the renal cortex. So if you have renal failure, well, it doesn't have to be. Like if it depends if it affects the cortex or not. But so either it's not going to have an impact or it's going to decrease erythropoietin secretion. So yeah. All right. Now I can't see the questions anymore. But
Mass blood.
Oh, we have some questions here.
oh yeah.
What did you say about the plasma?
Did I say about what? The plasma. So for which one? Here, yeah. So this one, so there's always a negative feedback in every. Okay, so there's a negative feedback for erythropoietin. So when you do erythropoietin, you don't want to make it indefinitely, right? You have to stop at some point. So the negative feedback there is that you're gonna do more erythropoietin because you need more, right? Because they're gonna sense lower oxygen. Okay, produce more red blood cells. The signal is an increase in erythropoietin. Erythropoietin is gonna go to the bone marrow. Bone marrow is gonna produce red blood cells. So how do you stop this cycle? You can't have infinite red blood cells. So when you have more and more red blood cells, your oxygen carrying capacity and oxygen levels are going to increase because you have more red blood cells. And then your kidneys are going to sense this and they're going to stop production of erythropoietin. So if you have high erythropoietin, it's going to do a negative feedback and yeah. Got it? Because it's in the plasma. Yeah. Usually I get it, but usually in physiology we always say like plasma something like plasma albumin, plasma sodium. It means like it's the level and yeah. I can't see the questions here. Do you want to show me how? Chat? It's actually the chat, or is it? Oh yeah, it's the chat. What happens to ICF volume? Direct message. Zoom students. More than okay, there's a fight between Zoom students and in-person students. What affects ongoing pressure again? No, this one answer. What happens to ICF osmolarity when you have severe blood loss?
Interesting.
So no one can see the question though. So there's a question that says, what happens to ICF volume and osmolarity when you have severe blood loss? So what do you guys think? The same? You're sure? Yeah. Yeah, so someone said it stays the same and she's right. Can you put the Q in the chat? Yeah. Oh my God. So it's just what happens to ICF volume and osmolarity when you have severe blood loss. Okay, and this stays the same. Yeah. Did you all go? There was a question there, the guy.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Let's move on.
All right.
Sorry, I think it's taking.
It's all right. Last
Or the
blood question.
osmolarity, because the blood that is being lost, And you're not losing just water when you have a hemorrhage. You're losing whole blood. No,
Late
components.
the
So
prenatal
what's staying
period.
inside also has the same
Okay,
osmolarity.
go. This one is open, guys.
Is that the question?
What?
What happens to ICF on osmolarity when they have severe problem?
Yeah, because
No,
that's what
doesn't-
you said. Yeah.
Okay. Then you put the question.
You know what? I'll make an effort to put the question in the chat because I have nothing to do now. You mess it up.
I got you.
I think they mean the questions from in-person students because those they can see.
No, because this one was a direct.
Oh, I
message.
just sent it back to the same person. My bad. Really out here exposing myself.
Yeah, very good question. Okay. So 20 seconds for this one, because then there's the immune people. 8. Okay, so 20 seconds. Did I already say 20 seconds? No. Okay, so I'll just stop it. Okay, 150, let's stop. And this one is also easy because it, oh no. Ah, yeah. Oh no. Yeah. Okay, so, but did you
Late
change
in
the ANG? Oh, yeah, you changed it. Okay, so guys, you just have to look at the graph that's on your slides, right? What?
Aid is the one.
Yeah, prenatal. Late in the prenatal period. Yeah, but it's late. Wait, look at the graph. Where's the graph? Can you show up the graph? Oh, I have the graph here, right here. Okay. All right, guys, there's a big iPad. I'm going to show it here. Can they see it?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Okay, I hope you guys can see it. It's prenatal, not postnatal. Okay, so there's a debate in this question.
Right, so it might be late in the prenatal.
Okay, guys, so this is the prenatal period. That's the, it's right. Okay, so that's the prenatal period, right? Right? Who was asking the question here? Yeah. So in the yolk sac, early prenatal, very early prenatal. Mostly yolk sac.
Guys.
Because they need to hear on Zoom. Okay, so mostly yolk sac.
Bro, my bad.
Okay, no, my bad. Okay, and then mid prenatal, liver and spleen, right? And then at the end of the prenatal period, it's decreasing a lot. But what's dominating at the end of the prenatal period, it's in the bones. I think it's because the fate in the prenatal period, it shifts to the postnatal. What?
There's a gradual shift to what happens postnatally.
Exactly, yeah.
As you go.
Yeah.
As you go.
So, yeah. Did you guys get it? Yeah? Late, so early, mid, late.
Late, like
Late,
a few
Yeah.
weeks before pregnant, like before birth.
there's no rule, just look at the graph. Like, if you look at like late here, and then you draw a line, which one, if you draw it like a line like this, which one predominates? It's this one. Actually, I'm a bit, no, it's just because it was liver and spleen, it was the right answer.
But then we thought it was different.
Yeah, when we saw you thought, because it's not, okay? No, it's A and G. I shouldn't have said
Just
this.
change the question.
It's all right.
Change the question at the end. But
Yeah.
if you will have a question like this on the midterm, it will probably say a couple weeks before birth, let's say, to be more specific, I believe.
But just look at the,
Yeah,
you won't have the graph, right?
look at it while you're studying.
While you're studying, look at it.
So before it would be liver and spleen. First
Okay,
yolk
so
sac,
just-
then liver and
just-
spleen,
yeah.
then yolk.
So
Thinking
early
about it,
prenatal, yolk sac, mid prenatal, liver and spleen, late prenatal, all the bones, and then after birth, all the bones also at first, and then you start losing production in the distal long bones, right? And the exoskeleton stays. throughout your life. Okay,
All right. Perfect. Now it's us, right?
I'm done. Okay, thank you guys.
Thanks, Cyril.
Oh, is there a, can you repeat that?
Please, you can explain it again.
Okay, so I'll repeat it from here while he sets up for the new section.
So early prenatal.
So do you have the graph? You just have to look at the graph, and so early prenatal is yolk sac, mid prenatal is liver and spleen, and then late prenatal is in all the bones, so distal and axial skeleton, and then after birth you start losing from the distal lung bones progressively. Thanks.
All right. Immunology, guys. Oh, sorry, this is a second question. Okay.
Right.
That's it?
Yep. It should be open.
Okay, please answer question 1.
This one has a graph too. I'll just show it on Zoom once we go to the answer. Quietly get with it. It's just a pain to me.
All right, 20 more seconds. All right, I'm closing the thing. All right, most of you got it right. The second exposure results in more IgG production than the first exposure, of course. I think that's the main takeaway from the graph that we showed in the lectures. Second exposure results in more IgM production than the first exposure. Again, looking at the graph, that's not really true. IgM, for the purposes of this course, it doesn't really do much for the normal infections that we encounter, unless there's an infection that really necessitates IgM more than any other type of antibodies, then yes, it would increase. But for the purposes of this course, it's IgG. So the first exposure results in more IgG production than the second exposure. No, it's the second, obviously, that's strongest always. And if E was right, then there'd be a problem with the immune system because you would have the response the second time would be as robust as the first, which is counterproductive. All right.
Yes.
Is there, yeah. Yeah, I'm not too sure. Do you know about infections that need IgM? Quite possibly. I mean, again, you don't need to know that for this course. Maybe if you take advanced immunology, you'll dive deeper into IgM and IgA and all those. But yeah, the antibodies that we know and love in this course are IgGs. All right? Yes. Yeah. Yeah, whatever is not needed, you're obviously not going to produce more of it. Because, yeah. Yeah, for the purposes of this course. It's IgGs that's most important. Okay, any questions? But isn't IgM most abundant, as in the body? I believe it's IgG. All right. Oh, should I press this red thing?
No, you can actually just go to the next question and it just
Okay.
switches automatically.
Question number 2.
Learning on the job.
Sorry. Question number 2. Go ahead. This is a question about the structure of IgA.
Yeah, so we had one on both of them, too.
On the practice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
I don't know what's on the.
I thought I recall the prof saying IgM. Oops. Do you mean drops? Anything?
Someone say the prof said IgM is the most abundant.
No. Why is IgM production similar in the first and second exposure? You probably need IgM.
To activate. Oh, it's another question.
Okay. Well, IgM is not. It's not that it's useless, but its uses are minimal. So if you're going to produce a little bit of IgM, you're also going to produce it in the second response. But again, the main focus is IgG. You want to produce much more the second time around. Yes, I can. For the variable constant, yes. Yes, IgG is the most abundant. All right, I'm closing the question. All right, we are split. So the answer is 4 heavy chains, 4 light chains, and the variable region is the antigen binding site. This is us being a little bit creative and giving you a question about IgA. It's always helpful to know the structure of IgA, IgM, IgG, but not more than that. We're not going to ask you what IgM does and how it's needed and stuff like that. But yes, it has 4 heavy chains, 4 light chains. Because if you look at it, IgA is it 2, right? Yeah. So IgA is basically 2 IgGs stuck together, basically. That's IgA. And I got a question about the difference between constant and variable region. The variable region is the tip of the antibody. Are you listening, guys? The variable region is the tip of the antibody, which is going to recognize the antigen, all right? And that's why it's variable, because you want different antibodies to recognize different antigens. So you need the variable region to change. If you take all the antibodies in your body and you look at their constant region, they are exactly the same. They don't change, all right? It would be just too costly for the body to create a completely different antibody every time for a different antigen. So every single antibody has the same constant region, but a different variable region, all right? And it's the variable region, again, which is going to recognize the antigen. Any questions about this? No? All right. Yeah, IgM is like the flower. Anyway, question number 3 for immunology. Question 3. COVID question. For person R in Zoom, how many heavy versus light chain each immunoglobulin has? I mean, if you think about what their structure is, it should be pretty apparent. IgA is 2 antibodies or 2 IgGs stuck together, because each IgG, that you need to know, each IgG has 2 heavy chains, 2 light chains. So that times 2 gives you 4 heavy chains, 4 light chains. For IgM, I believe it's 5, right? Well, yeah, we're not going to ask you that. But for IgM, if it's 5, then it's 10 heavy chains, 10 light chains. Yeah. All right.
It's funny in the chat.
Yeah, Zoomers are fun.
The Zoomers are funny.
148. Okay, I'm giving you guys 20 seconds. This is not too hard, is it?
We'll see.
All right. I'm closing it.
They're good.
Yes, thank you. So it's artificial passive immune. A lot of people ask me that before during the lectures. Artificial is whatever you don't produce. You get it from something. Sorry, artificial, no, that's passive. Passive is when you get it from someone else, your mother's milk, or you get antibodies from someone else, right, for blood transfusion. Passive versus active, sorry, again, I'm messing up. Passive is this, but then artificial versus natural is how you encounter the pathogen. If you take a vaccine, that's artificial. If you catch COVID, that's natural. Is that clear? Okay, so this is obviously artificial and passive. Yeah, so the question was there a reason why IgMs and IgAs have a different structure and have more sort of variable regions? Yes, I believe, I mean, I haven't taken a lot of immunology courses, but I know that IgMs are useful probably for agglutination purposes maybe. So they need to bind to a lot of antigens at the same time. It's easier to have more variable regions. IgAs, again, I'm not really sure exactly which one works where, but we're not going to ask you that. So yeah. Next question. Which one is it? Immunology 4. All right.
I hope this one gives them a run for them.
Mhm. Oh, which immunology class is you missed for the presentation of events?
This is a min 214 question. It's not even taking too long. It's a min 214. The foot process they throw out.
Oh, the neutrophil. Oh, okay.
Or the
Oh, yeah, the pseudopods because they're phagocytes. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, okay. Now I'll take over. Oh, look how helpful they're being to each other in the chat.
Yes, yeah.
Love to see it. All right, I think we're good.
All right, I'm gonna close this one. Perfect. So it is phagocytosis. The pseudopod, that may be the trick word in this question. It is the sort of legs or whatever the macrophage or the phagocyte extends out to engulf the pathogen. So obviously, if you mutate something that helps with the pseudopod formation, phagocytosis is going to be impaired. And by the way, I mean, if you know your stuff and you do a good process of elimination on the test for the questions that you feel are tricky, it should be fine. The questions are straightforward. We're not trying to torture you, but please read every single word. I also make mistakes there, but please read because there will be questions where they're tricking you. The whole sentence could be correct, but a little detail is wrong and you'll get the question wrong. So if I say a CD4 positive T cell recognizes an MHC1 antigen complex and then sends out granzymes of preference to kill it, that's all correct, but for the first word, which is CD4 positive cells. So it's CD8 positive, right? Cytotoxic T cells. So just pay attention to that little detail, read everything, drink caffeine, have a nap, I don't know. But just be alert and be on the lookout, you'll be fine. Take over.
All right. I will end us off. 4 more questions, and then you guys are free to go. Of course, of course. All right. Give this one a crack. Oh yeah.
We can do per section, like if you have a
blood section.
Because I guess we're gonna send the FOBM, right? You're the
Yeah,
boss,
I
the
have
VP,
Well,
VP
I want
academic.
to, not that I
But do
have.
you do a review session like this for every single course? Like for Keaton
That's
and for
as
like,
VP academic. That's what I would like to do.
yeah.
You can close the polling a bit soon, like once you get to 100. So we
Yeah,
don't take.
yeah, I have to. I think most of the people, we have what, maybe 200 people, and or a bit less. I think everyone's gonna want to watch the recording.
Yeah.
Cyril, your name's Turkish, yes?
No, it's Greek.
It's Greek. I was like, Cyril Kazan sounds Turkish.
No. Yeah, you know, some people get from my family named Turkish. Are you?
Yeah, that's why I was like, oh,
You're Turkish.
yeah, I was like, oh, a fellow Turkish.
No, sorry.
Nah.
I'm a neighbor though. I'm Lebanese.
Yeah. May we ask questions about the practice midterm?
Yeah.
I mean, I would recommend asking
Email
that
us.
at the email us or ask at the immunology tutorial tomorrow night. Oh yes, okay. So results, what answer? All right, well, thank you for coming out. Everyone say thank you
I'll
to
answer.
Victor.
You guys have transport questions or blood fluids?
You can email, right?
Blood fluid transport.
I do better.
It's all right. You can ask us as well.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Victor. All the Zoom homies are saying thank you as well. Okay. So this is a good example of a question you might get on your exam. I like these, but yeah, MHC class 2. Right. Like Michaela says, MHC class 1 are on self cells.
All
So
nucleated.
all nucleated. They're not on red blood cells though, but that's besides the point. So yeah, it's B cells, yes, and then macrophages and dendritic cells. So MHC class 2, no worries, it's fine. And they're presenting, that's for presentation. So the cells that have Bs, MHC class 2, they're professional antigen presentation cells. You don't need to know that a B cell is a professional APC. It's more that you know that a dendritic cell. Okay, so maybe in PHGY 313, you'll get into that. Yes.
All cells in
All-
your body
yes.
have a nucleus, except the red blood cells. Yeah, so all of them have an MHC. In addition to that, those guys have MHC too. That's all.
Yes. Thank you, Sami. All right. We'll get started on the next one. Immunology 6.
All right.
Okay.
This has to be quick.
Yeah, this one, you
We're
guys
giving
can do
you
this one
20
quick.
seconds. Quick.
The difference between MHC class 1 and MHC class 2. Okay, I believe you heard the difference. Excellent. If you want to know more about the difference, you can take MIM 214. It's a good course. They go into the details. All right. We got a lot of answers. Quiet down, please. Hold on. Well, I'll get back to you. Wow. Okay. Excellent. No need to go over this. Yes, Carrie. Yes. Okay. The difference between them. Yeah. Like the ones that are presenting. So if you're presenting an antigen to a B cell or to a T cell, you have to have MHC class 2. Yes. Okay. This one, no need to go for this one. With regards to the natural killer T cells, or not natural killer T cells, natural killer cells, it's important to know that the inhibition signal is stronger than the activation signal, okay? Because this has to do with MHC class 1. If there's an inhibition signal and an activation signal, it won't kill the cell. It's when there's a lack of an inhibition signal that it will be killed. So I would watch out for that. Will the questions and answers be posted? I will try my best, but I know the recording will be, and so you can just skip to it. Can I repeat, please? What should I repeat? About, okay, so natural killer cells, there are activating signals and inhibiting signals. Everyone, please. So there are activating signals and inhibiting signals for natural killer cells. And so when you have an inhibitory signal, there won't be any killing of cells. But when you don't have the inhibitory signal and only activation, then that's when the NK cell will kill the target cell. All right, so I hope that helps. Second last question. This should also be very quick.
Let's see.
'76. Okay, very good, very good. Maybe we'll get 100% on this one.
If someone gets this wrong, it's fine. So let's see.
Okay. I'm gonna show the results now. 97%. Excellent. It is all of the above. And so, I mean, this is pretty straightforward. Antibodies, personally, they're my favorite molecule. It's because they're in the shape of a Y. My name starts with a Y. Okay. So, yeah, they're very versatile. I'd watch out for which of the following is not a function of an antibody. That's always good to know, you know, the positives and the negatives. Yes? Okay. So complement can do different kind of things. For PHGY 209, the main thing about complement is forming the membrane attack complex. It's when it makes a big hole in the cell, just kills it. Opsonization, that's preparing to eat. So for example, if Sami was an antigen and I mounted an immune response against him, there would be all these antibodies on Sami, and as a cell, as an immune cell, I would be like, oh, Sami's a meal ready to eat. Okay, so that's, but complement will directly kill by making the membrane attack complex. Opsonization, it helps the cell basically eat.
Yeah. And
Yes, exactly.
and
Yeah.
complement also, we talked about C3b.
Yeah.
It could just sit there and be sort of a signal for phagocytes to come and eat whatever they're marking. Yeah, so complement can do opsonization, which basically means tagging the cell. And they can do, you know, they can form the membrane attack complex. Antibodies can help with this complement membrane attack complex thing. And they can also just opsonize.
I'm very glad Sami mentioned that, because C3b sitting on the cell, what would that be an example? Innate immunity or adaptive immunity? Like C3b, yes, exactly. And so, but once you eat it and digest the antigen of interest and present it, and you make an antibody against this antigen, then that's when it becomes adaptive. That's the beautiful link between the two. Okay, just I will answer the Zoom chats. Okay, we got innate homies up in here in the chat. I will answer the Zoom questions.
During the next one.
Yes, during the next one.
Last question.
Last question, we're almost done. Okay. Oh, yeah, we
Six
can
minutes.
close. Okay. Yeah, I'll give it a little bit more. Cheryl, to answer your question, it is the helper T cell that interacts with the antigen presenting cell first, not the NK cell.
Yeah, that's because of the midterm question that confused people.
Yes, yes.
It
Okay.
was wrong.
I have a question. Okay, we'll just end it here.
All right.
Show results. Excellent, excellent. This is also fairly easy. The neutrophil comes, and then with the neutrophil extracellular traps kind of helps control the site of infection. And you guys, the rest is history. Okay. Stay if you'd like us to answer some questions. We'll try our best. Thank you for coming, everyone on
Good
Zoom.
luck.
Thanks for coming. Good luck. Get some good rest before the exam. You got this. Be confident. E, all of the above. You got it.
Does anyone have questions in blood or can I? Yeah.
I didn't really understand the pressure that you talked about, like osmotic and filtration.
Okay, so basically there's two pressures. Hydrostatic pressure and lymphatic pressure. Alright, just think about this.
Neutralization would be if,
The arrow going
okay,
towards
this is to answer Arthur Lenoir's question. Neutralization is if there's a toxin,
These are the
and so antibodies can bind to this toxin and prevent the toxin from doing their effect, their toxic effect, and precipitation. Well, I think that would just prevent an antigen from going maybe into a cell. I would go look back at the lecture.
Filtration is going up.
Dr. Vollrath does a much better job of explaining that. To be frank,
I don't know why, but I think that's where your activation in your body. You said
That's-
about the.
Look, you can go for, because I wrote the question.
And that's supposed to
You
be
can
more
go
prone
through
to
that, you
inhibition
haven't understood
than the
yet.
T cell.
Right.
But how though? Like I don't understand.
the inhibition, it's a signaling cascade. So it binds to the inhibitory signal, causes signals to be sent.
Okay.
It's stronger than the activation. So if you add them up, the net is inhibition. So if I have activation and inhibition, I'm gonna say no. It's like, I don't know.
Okay,
Use-
wait,
For
other
example,
than-
if you like someone, but they have a red flag, and that's where you draw the line, then don't date them.
Okay, that's what natural killer cells do.
Exactly.
Oh my
You're
God.
like, oh, this person, this thing, it has a green flag. It's the MHC class
It's
one.
just two
I'm not
arrows,
gonna
one
kill
going
them.
out.
Okay, yes.
Right?
Yes.
If they don't have it,
The
they're
one going out is
like
due to blood pressure, so hydrostatic
Okay,
pressure.
perfect. Okay,
The one
thank
going
you.
in is due to plasma and lymphatic pressure. It's bringing in, soaking in
Yes.
fluid from the periphery.
I-
If you have more albumin, it's going to be like more concentrated, you need to suck in more fluid. If you have less
Yeah,
albumin,
so
it's
But you
less
memorize-
less pressure, you're not gonna have the
I'm not sure if you have to memorize it. C3b, it complements part of the innate immune system. It marks a cell that's full. And then the phagocyte will come by. I see C3b, it's foreign, I'll eat it, I'll digest it.
Okay, that would be innate because you are.
Because the phagocyte's not
lymphatic
lymphatic, it sees
So
the
you have
CP, it's like, oh,
lymphatic
that's well.
The
And then
10%
it
that
digests, it goes to lymph node, presents, that's when at that
It's gonna be soaked up by your lymphatic
When it
vessels. They're
digests,
gonna
it goes to
accumulate, no, they're gonna accumulate
presents to
everything
helper T,
and go all the
helper
way
T
to
activates
your
cytotoxic.
chest. That's gonna drain into the
Okay.
And the last one about the neutrophils, the last question, I didn't hear your explanation as to why they're the ones during chemotaxis. Or-
Yeah, so
But then
what we have
it's
is
good.
recognition, so a PAMP binds to a PRR.
You don't have
like,
to use these.
right? And so then this causes
I
the
think
release
actually, because I was in
of,
the lectures for
this
blood, she
causes the
said like
release
these.
of cytokines,
Oh,
and that's what just brings.
You
the
can just
neutrophils.
read it.
It's always the
Okay.
neutrophils first.
Neutrophils always come first, then when do helper T
It blocks
cells?
thromboxylation.
Helper T cells come first
And
in
you
the
need it for
regional
the.
lymph node, because you have a bunch of T cells in the lymph node.
Yeah.
And so once you have the digestion and presentation of the pathogen, it goes to the lymph node, and then that's where the T cell comes in.
So in the lymph node, it's the helper T cells, and then the neutrophils are where?
In the tissues, peripheral tissues, site of infection.
Is there another region that you need to know? So it's either always neutrophils or helper T cells?
Yeah, I'd like to think of it that way.
And then when do the B cells come, like helper T cells, then B cells?
Yeah, so it's helper T cell, then it could be cytotoxic T cell or B cell.
Okay.
Yep.
More
Okay.
testosterone.
And then one, is there like a regular T cell that comes, or it's just cytotoxic and helper?
You have receptors.
So far,
That's
for
what
the,
I'm saying.
for the,
Okay, well,
yeah, for the course.
so the
that's great.
helper T cell comes, which,
The
wait, T
hyperactive
cell that could be either cytotoxic or helper, and then the B cell
but
after.
it is no-
Yeah, so it's helper first, and then the antigen presenting cell will present to the cytotoxic T cell, but that's not enough to activate it. The helper T cell has to come in as well to activate the
Okay.
cytotoxic T cell.
So antigen presenting cell and the helper T cell. The cytotoxic one was the first
Okay,
one.
so first.
I'm just trying to find like the order of,
So antigen presenting cell goes to
Okay.
the lymph node,
okay,
presents to helper T cell.
okay.
Then it can present to the cytotoxic T cell.
No,
But to activate the cytotoxic T cell,
Got it. Okay, thank you.
thank you.
They push away the plate.
Of course.
It's about indicator dilution methods, I'm not sure.
Mhm.
Hopefully now, but
So
on
they will
the
push them
practice
away.
midterm,
They
they said that this one was false.
To maintain
The
the
first one.
temperature. You don't want platelets to stick.
I can show you like the
every
note,
time,
if you don't remember by heart.
Only to college.
I just don't know.
But it's never perfect.
Because in the notes, they said that the radioactive water can be used to measure total body water. So I'm not, I'm not really sure.
Email me.
Yeah. I don't know why.
I could eat.
Well, I don't know why,
Definitely why. It's definitely.
I don't know why.
Probably
it's
the degree of.
Let's see, I will have to go take a trip down memory lane to
I can just-
U1.
No. You know, it's the volume. No, it's the volume of this compared to this. So here.
It's like it says on the slide.
Here, I
but-
can show you, it's right here. Okay, so this is what
You have a difference.
they did, and they say that
Here.
DTO can be used to measure total body water.
Mhm.
But then in the midterm, they say that that's
Here you
false.
have less than
So I
30%
don't
of breast.
understand why.
Which is false. So
Yeah.
that's true. So
Exactly.
hence, like, you wouldn't
You're
think
never
that.
gonna
It's
have
true.
breast.
Yeah, but that's, I got,
Usually
they're saying that this
It's
one
about-
is the one.
Oh,
that-
then I
yeah.
think it's a mistake then.
You know, it's not
Is it?
always.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
No, but I mean, like, who do we call? Like, who do we?
Dr. Vollrath
So then
tomorrow,
it was like,
perhaps? Question 29,
Wait, what section are you doing?
Yeah, but
Immunology.
just of breast.
but like,
So like the proportion.
I'll try to help with anything.
Okay, no, just I had a question for
This
immunology.
is what it normally looks like.
Yes, I got you. Thanks for coming.
Much more white.
There
So
was
less than
something
50%
with-
of breast compared to the volume of it.
platelet factor, I think.
Stop sharing. We only have 5 people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this breaks.
I don't understand this question. Because I.
In a normal.
So for A, platelet plug needs to form first, and then the blood clot can happen on top. It's like the foundation. Okay, and
The B, I don't even know, is it true? Or like, is it just?
I don't remember. So if I was taking exam, like, I'm not too sure. I'll put a question mark.
Platelets, they don't have any question. It's just platelet factor 2 participates in the coagulation pathway. It's not platelet factor 3.
Okay, you know better than I do.
Yeah, but then it would be false, but that's the answer.
So D was the answer.
Yeah, but again, I don't know if like.
The way I thought of it was like on the slide, platelet factor, participated in the.
Yeah.
Like, one year.
It's just, I didn't even talk about platelet factor 2, so I don't know.
I think PF2 might be, I think I had this question last year. Wait, platelet factor 2 might just be another word for like one of the, yeah, thrombin or prothrombin.
But prothrombin and thrombin both like are part of like
Making that
making
right.
the coagulation.
Let's see.
But you're in the wrong section. You're in the wrong.
I have it's the whole thing. Let's
Oh,
see.
it's the whole thing. It's like towards the end. Yeah, exactly. But it's equally factor 3.
Last year for the Fiji 210 midterm, Fiji 210, it was 68%. For Fiji 209, I'm not too sure. It's right around 70, 75.
Yeah, 210 is hard.
70, 75 is the average.
It's a typical prothrombin is known as platelet factor 2, which is a part of the coagulation cascade.
And clot laces. Like, yeah, which one? I don't understand because it's something with plasmid. We want to
Clot lace?
the clot laces. Yeah.
Clot lysis. Oh,
Yeah.
Sorry. I have to just make sure because I have to end the recording on this real quick. When it's an endogenous protein, is it only a viral protein?
I think it's mistake, right?
Okay,
It must be mistake.
endogenous.
It's wrong, right?
No, this is the correct one. I put C and then it has tissue.
Yeah, it can be.
Sami,
It should be C.
Three.
Oh,
Yeah,
3,
three.
okay. Okay.
when it's an endogenous protein. Endogenous means you're making it. Okay, I'm not muted. So, yeah, viral infection comes in, viral DNA makes the protein. Body's natural defense against this is to take the protein, chop it up, and then present it on to be like, hey, I'm infected. So that's endogenous. And when it's viral, yes, I would agree. Yeah, endogenous is viral. So I hope that helps.
Is when it's 300.
Yes. There was something with plasmid.
Plasmid?
Yeah.
300, more than
I just don't
300.
understand what.
You know what? I think you should just ask him. Because I
Plasmid.
remember there's the difference is like one is more or less than the referential. So if, for
Plasminogen.
example, you have a solution that is
Plasminogen, but
more
also plasmid.
than another solution that's hyperosmotic.
Yeah.
Right?
That's like there's
So okay, plasminogen becomes plasmid.
Yeah, there's
so right.
The other
Clot
one
has
is
been
more or
formed.
less
You don't need the clot anymore. Tissue's been
but
repaired.
there's also
Everything.
more or less than 300.
Plasminogen becomes plasmid, and then that will break down fibrin into fibrin fragments because I believe it's fibrin that makes up the clot. And so then you're just getting rid of the platelet plug, all the fibers that are clotting. Just to get back to normal.
Blood.
I'll email. Thank you.
Yeah, it's better for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, sorry.
For like 30.
You guys, I thought you were USC, you're like there.